Be a lot better.
Well, that's why I'm here.
Well, yeah,
You
you told me some stuff on the phone, but
Absolutely.
I want to hear it in person. What do you got?
Absolutely. First of all, did you get I know that we talked on the phone before I came here.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to reiterate, number one, we talked about the market, how the market is. We're going to go through from A to Z how the market is, how much your house sold, and if everything looks right, I hope you're prepared to give me a listing today.
Well, let's see what you got to say. I've heard a lot of stuff, so.
Sounds good. Let me ask you a question as we get started.
All right.
How quick do you want to get your house sold?
Tomorrow, if we can do it.
Great. And you told me, can you just remind me again the reason what's your intentions, the reason that you're selling your house?
At this point, I want to move out to the burbs. I don't need to be here anymore. I want to play more golf, and that's just not possible in the city.
Wonderful. So are you retired?
I'm about to retire, yes.
So you want to move and live the dream?
I want to live the dream.
Wonderful. I hope that's what I'm going to be doing today is starting the process so you can go on to live the dream.
Okay.
Sounds good. Great. So I first brought some material with me. First of all, I did a comparative market analysis among some other things, and you had your house listed before. Now, do you know why your previous agent couldn't sell your house?
I don't know what that guy was doing. Yeah, I mean, he had a couple open houses. He said he had people interested. We never saw any offers. We never saw any contracts, and I never saw much marketing.
Did you see the activity coming through?
I mean, there were people that came through, but a lot of them were jerks. They didn't appreciate how nice my place was and all the work I put into it.
Of course,
so,
it is a beautiful place.
I mean, they're coming in and doing these low ball stuff. I'm not interested in that crap.
Right.
So
what we're going to do is we're going to get your house sold for at the highest and best price that we can get it sold for.
okay.
Okay. And let me just so this is your house. I took a picture of it just to give you an idea, a visual.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, Alex, there's only two reasons why a property does not sell. Okay. And it comes down to these two reasons, and nothing else matters. And I'll be quite honest with you. And that's pricing and exposure.
All right.
Okay. Now we have to have your house priced right, and we want to get as much exposure for your house as possible.
Okay.
In order for us to get it sold, not just sold, we want to get it sold for the highest and best price, right?
Yeah, the more money I can make, the more golf I can play.
Absolutely good. I'm glad that we both have the same goal in mind. Okay. So pricing is a fundamental step, and the way that we price properties is we go through and we see what's sold on the market. And I also not only see what's sold, I see what's sitting in the market, because we know those properties are sitting, and we look at the price, and if it's price has a lot to do with it. If it's not priced right, it's not gonna sell. Okay. The other reason why, the other thing that we look at is properties that have expired off the market. Okay. And the reason that we look at those properties is because they sat in the market and they expired. That means they haven't sold and they're not still listed. Probably the same reason that your listing originally expired was your agent wasn't doing the job or it wasn't priced right. It could be a number of reasons. But the reason I have all three of these different comparables for you is because I want you to know what properties sold at, what properties expire at, and what prices properties just sit on the market at.
Okay. Makes sense.
Great. Exposure is the difference between having a sale sit in the market and having it sold. Okay. Now, I want to show you a little bit of the tools that we use to get your property exposed as much as possible. One of them is we specifically target buyers.
How do you do that?
We target buyers through different means. Number one, we market all over the internet. So we take your property and we blast it all across the internet. Okay, and all the top 25 real estate websites. We also do direct mailers. So I'm going to, right when I get your house, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get just listeds out there. So all your neighbors and people in the area know that your property is for sale. They may have friends, family members, coworkers who may be interested in moving to the area. And once they get that piece of mail from you, they're going to let them know that your house is for sale.
Okay.
Okay. And just like any other agent's going to do, of course, it's going to go to MLS. It's also going to go on Realtor.com. Okay. I also have a whole network of people that I network with, of buyers, sellers, other agents that I'm going to expose your property to. Okay. So I'm going to expose it to the agents I work with. They're going to expose it to their agents. They're going to expose it to their buyers. They're going to expose it, and those buyers are going to expose the property to their friends and family. It's like a whole web that goes out there. Open houses. The first open house I'm going to do is actually for just real estate brokers. It's called a broker's tour.
Okay.
Are you familiar with it? Did your agent do that?
Yeah, we had one of those before, but no one came.
Okay.
I saw one open house sign, and he said he did something with MLS, but I think, just a couple agents
Yeah.
in his office.
Right. Well, she probably just did that to show you that he's gonna get somebody in there and,
Yeah.
I get the drill. I'm not gonna do that. My broker's tour is gonna be strategically planned out ahead of time, so we know it's gonna bring people in, it's gonna be appealing to them, it's gonna be attractive. I'm gonna have some food catered, and I'm also gonna give away a gift to entice them to come. Once they come, I'm gonna give them some handouts they're gonna take with them, so that it reminds them to contact their buyers. I'll also have each one of them sign in, so I have their names and numbers, and I'll close look at their business cards, and I'll follow up with them to see if they have any buyers that are interested. Okay? So I'm not just gonna let it slide. Also, I'm gonna hold open houses on the weekends, and the open houses I'm gonna hold are also gonna be strategically planned. Okay? Now, newspaper ads are something that we can do. I'm not sure how popular they are anymore, but that's an option for you. The more exposure, the better. We can't go wrong with doing more, okay?
And you guys are paid for that?
Yeah, I'll cover the advertising price.
Okay.
Now, there's other things you can spend your money on, so we'll get into that more in detail.
Sure.
And let me just quickly show you this. So if you look at exposure and pricing,
Alright.
okay, and if you look at this, this is the short-term scenario, this is the impossible scenario, which means that your house is not going to sell if it's priced here and it has this little exposure. And obviously, if your house is priced here and if it has this exposure, it's going to go fast. Okay?
Sure.
So we want to find out what is going to be the best price scenario for you, and it's going to be somewhere along this middle line. Okay. And the reason that we want to get somewhere here is because you're not going to price it too low, and you're also going to have the most exposure you can get.
Okay.
So really, we want to be somewhere right around here. This is the best price scenario, where it's not priced too low and you're getting the max amount of exposure. Okay, just give you an idea of where we want to be if you were to look at a map. Okay, good. Now, here's the CMA, here's the expireds. Okay, if you look, all these expireds, they're all about $500,000. They haven't moved. Okay. Now let's look at the properties that are still sitting in the market. As you see, these are the same price. They haven't moved. They're right around $500,000. Now I want to show you what's closed. If we look at the properties that have closed, all these properties have closed under $500,000. And if you look at the prices, here's 5 I can point out to you. This one closed, and these are all within the last 6 months. Okay, we can't go back any further because the banks won't even appraise property values back that much further. And just remember this too: we're still on a declining market. There's more people buying, which is great, but the housing values are still declining. They haven't come up yet. Okay, great. So if you look at this property number 1 here, this sold 3 months ago for $489,000. And if you look, it's really comparable to your house. Property number 2 has sold for $479,000, very comparable. Property number 3, $478,000 as well. Property number 4, $475,000. And property number 5, $471,000.
Sure.
Okay, and if you look, they're all within that price range. So we know that this is the pricing that we have to be at where properties are selling.